Good morning, students. I welcome all the students of class 5 in this new session 2020-21. In this EVS class, we start with chapter 6, Mapping the World. Children, you all have studied in class 4 that there are 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Between these 4 cardinal directions, there are 4 intercardinal directions. Between north and east, northeast. Between south and east, southeast. Between south and west, southwest. And between north and west, northwest. When we observe a map, it follows a set of method showing different directions. We find that the top of the map is always north, the bottom of the map is always south, the right side of the map is always east, and the left hand side is always west. Now the question comes, what is a map? A map is a drawing of any place, park, railway network, building, country, etc. Map gives us information about a place. We can make different kinds of maps showing different types of information on it. Maps of a country tells us about its natural features. A country's climate and its vegetation too can be shown on a map. Now there are different kinds of map. There are mainly 3 types of maps: physical maps, political maps, and thematic maps. The physical map of a country shows the location of the physical features of that country, its mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, and coastal plains. The political map of a country shows states and their capitals. It also shows major towns and cities of the country. A thematic maps gives us the details of any one aspect or theme of a country, for example, its railway network, crops, climate, etc. Now there are different symbols used as key in a map. These symbols are shown here. This symbol represents the international boundary, then the state boundary. This rectangular box with a dot in it represents the capital of a country. This circle with a dot represents the capital of a state. Dot important or major cities. 2 parallel lines shows national highways. This other roads, then railways, river, bridge, temple, church, mosque, post office, police station. These symbols are used as key in a map. Now certain standard colors are used in all physical maps. It is important to know the color used in the map. This blue color represents the water bodies, seas, oceans, lakes, rivers. Green color shows the low-lying areas along with coast, all plains and dry areas like deserts. Yellow or light brown color shows the areas higher than plains or highlands. It means these are plateaus. And dark brown color shows the mountains and the hills. Now, we all know that Earth is spherical in shape. When we see a world map, it is the depiction of continents and oceans on a flat surface. But in reality, the surface is not flat. So to understand the shape of the map, we have made a model of Earth which is known as globe. A globe is the model of Earth. It is the most accurate depiction of landforms and features on the Earth. The shape, size, and direction can be accurately shown on a globe. Now we find it fixed on a rod that is slightly inclined. Here we can see this rod on which this ball is inclined. This rod also serves as an imaginary line that denotes the axis of the earth. Days and nights are result of the earth rotating on its axis. The earth rotates on its axis. The topmost point on this axis is the North Pole and the bottommost point is the South Pole. There are circular or semicircular lines running across the globes. The lines that run in circles are called latitudes and the lines that run in semicircles are called longitudes. These lines are imaginary. They help us in marking the location of places in the globes. Now we will study about latitudes. Here we can see a red line running from at 0 degree. This red line divides the earth into two equal halves. The upper half is called the towards north is the northern hemisphere and the half below the red line, that is equator, is the southern hemisphere. All other lines run parallel to the equator. Here it is seen. They get smaller as they reach the two poles, the north pole and this is the north pole and this here it is the south pole. They never meet at any point. All lines are measured in degrees. The north pole is at 90 degree north and the south pole is at 90 degree south. This means that North Pole is above the equator and South Pole is below the equator. Now there are two important latitudes in both the hemispheres, Northern Hemisphere as well as the Southern Hemisphere. In Northern Hemisphere's Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north and 66.5 degree north Arctic Circle. These are the two major latitudes in northern hemisphere, and in southern hemisphere 23.5 degrees south, that is Tropic of Capricorn, and 66.5 degrees south, that is Antarctic Circle. Children, you have to remember these two major latitudes of both northern hemisphere as well as southern hemisphere. Now comes the longitudes. Longitudes, these are semicircles running from North Pole to South Pole. They all are equal in length. They too are measured in degrees. The 0 degree meridian you can see in the red line. This is known as prime meridian, which runs across London near the Greenwich Observatory. This red line, this one. This is prime meridian. It runs through London. And the other meridians are marked east and west respectively of the prime meridian, east and west of the prime meridian. Now this world is divided into continents and oceans, 7 main continents and 5 oceans. These 7 main continents are North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia and Antarctica. And 5 water bodies are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Southern Ocean. This all is shown in the globe. This is all present on the earth. So children, in this chapter we have studied about the directions, maps, types of maps, globe, latitudes, longitudes, continents and ocean. Students, it is my sincere request to you all that if you have books, then go through the chapter, and not, then watch this video again and again so that when we meet in the class, your problems could be solved. Thank you, children.